All right, so we are going to talk about the causes that led us into World War I. So the central questions are, was World War inevitable in 1914? Name the 4 long-term causes of World War I, and you should also be able to explain them. Okay, so was war inevitable, and what are the 4 long-term causes? Okay, so here we go. This is very complicated. All right. So in the 1860s, the German Kingdom of Prussia unites Germany and attacks and defeats France. Now, that is very important because you need to understand how the French come to hate and despise the Germans. And this is how. So, the German Kingdom of Prussia unites all of Germany and they attack France. They force France to give up part of their border with Germany. So France loses part of its border, with Germany loses some land. So now, obviously, the Germans are enemies to France. Okay? To protect itself, once it takes over part of France, Germany joins in an alliance with Austria-Hungary, and they're going to form what's called the Dual Alliance. So two. So Germany, Austria-Hungary. After Germany takes French territory, then Germany decides maybe we should do something to protect ourselves from the French coming back at us for retaliation. So they form this dual alliance. In 1882, Italy is added to this alliance with Germany, with Austria-Hungary, to form the Triple Alliance. Triple, 3, okay? So Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy are the 3. Triple Alliance. The Russians become upset at this alliance and they become concerned. They think Germany, and it's logical, since Germany invaded France to get territory, why wouldn't Germany invade Russia? So they start thinking maybe we should form an alliance, Russia, with the other nation Germany invaded, France, and we will support each other. And also, it says later Britain signs up, and they call this the Entente Cordiale. Entente means friendly, cordial, understanding. So actually, Entente means understanding. Friendly understanding, known as the Triple Entente. So the Triple Alliance are the bad guys: Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. And Triple Entente, the good guys: Russia, France, and then of course Britain. Now, most people, when I teach this, they say, Russia was actually nice to the British and the French. You cannot think of it as Russia today or Russia during the Cold War. This is long before that. So, yes, Russia is on the side of the good guys with France and Britain. Okay, let me show you some pictures that may help. We'll see. All right, so Triple Alliance. So, what you have here is you have this alliance map where you can see here's Austria-Hungary, here is Germany. Now they have taken this section here, this normally today present France, like this area, Germany has invaded and taken, okay? And the Western Front here means that Germany has been all the way up to this point, okay? So Germany. Now, Germany and Austria-Hungary and Italy are the ones that are going to form the, if you remember, the Triple Alliance. The Triple Entente, the friendly understanding, is France, Great Britain, and Russia. Okay? All right, so that's that. Okay, another one, which I probably should do more later, but I'll show it to you here. The Triple Entente, same thing, Russia, France, Britain. Triple Alliance, Austria-Hungary, Germany, later Italy. Now this issue right here is what we're getting into next, all right, the Balkans, and they're kind of in the middle of all of this. Okay, so I will explain that here right now, if I can get this off. All right, so that's the deal, all right? So we've got alliances that have been formed. You start to see militarism. As Russia is worried that Germany might invade them, Russia starts building up their weapons. Same thing as Germany has invaded France and thinks, oh gosh, now France might come back at us. They build up their weapons, so on and so forth. So all these nations I just mentioned are adding to their weapon pile. So an aggressive buildup of armed forces. I do have a picture of militarism, and it's, what you expect. Okay, soldiers and cannons and such, militarism. So these countries are going to start building up their weapons. This will lead us to World War I. It's a cause of the war. Nationalism starts to take place, promoting one group's homeland or culture above others. Okay, so like my homeland is so important to me and more important than any other place. Okay, so that is nationalism. And I do have a picture of that right here. Actually, I don't want to show you that yet. I'll talk about that in a second. It says, among those looking for freedom were the Serbs in the Balkans of the old Austro-Hungarian Empire. So they had been under the reign of Austria-Hungary, the Serbs in the Balkans. And it says Serbia had formed its own nation. And the Russians, woo, very excited about that. As you see, the Serbian people are Slavic. Okay, it's almost like I could have said they're cousins to the Russians, who are also Slavic people. So they speak not exactly the same language, but it's very similar. And they have a similar cultural root, and they are related generations back. So the Russians are very happy for their Serbian cousins who have formed their own nation and gotten out of Austria-Hungary. But Austria-Hungary doesn't like this. They don't want Serbia to form its own nation and leave. So it says they try to limit that freedom. And they take the area of Bosnia where lots of Serbs lived in 1908 to prevent more Serbs from leaving Austria-Hungary. Okay, so more pictures. Here is Austro-Hungarian Empire, Austria-Hungary. Okay, remember, here's Germany. Here's Russia. All right, so this is Austria-Hungary, one of the people in the Triple Alliance. Here is Serbia that we were just talking about. All right, so within this area, some of these people are wanting, what's going to happen is Austria-Hungary comes from up here down into here and takes over. Now, this map does not show that, just trust me. So they come down and take over. And Serbia, some people in this area decide they want to be free. Okay, they're tired of this Austro-Hungarian rule. All right, here's another one that shows you the ethnicities. So you see Serbian here is listed. Here's Serbia. This is Austria-Hungary. So, they have within their own country Serbs, all right, and part of Serbia here, what has happened is some of these people are trying to get out of Austria-Hungary and leave that empire. Okay, they're trying to get out and leave. And Austria-Hungary does not like that. Okay? All right. So Austria-Hungary tries to annex area of Bosnia where many Serbs lived. I said that. So you got this issue where Austria-Hungary is trying to take some of these Slavic people that have declared themselves free. And who would have a problem with that? The Russians. Remember, we already have that alliance system built up. The Russians already do not trust Austria-Hungary because they have an alliance with Germany. Austria-Hungary does. Okay, so long-term causes of World War I, militarism. So, well, you can remember that. Here's my guys, okay, shooting at you. They're literally shooting at the camera. Militarism. All these nations are building up their military. France, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Britain, Russia. Alliances, agreements that we will protect each other. So back to this picture that I showed you originally, it makes more sense now. So Russia is going to say to France and Britain, if one of us, if I'm attacked, or if one of you are attacked, France or Britain, then I will go to bat for you. Italy, Germany, Austria-Hungary say that to each other. We will protect each other. Right? That's what they're saying. This is an alliance. This is an alliance. The problem is Bulgaria and we know Serbia is in the middle of all this. So the Serbs are Slavic, meaning they're related to the Russians. That's why it's on this side. But they're like stuck in Austria-Hungary land. They want to leave that, and some of them try to do that, and Austria-Hungary gets mad, and the Russians are going to get angry because they won't let them leave. This leads us into war. Okay? All right. So that's alliances. Imperialism. Remember, imperialism is the idea of a stronger nation dominating a weaker one. So we, Americans, as we talked about, are taking over these islands and Samoa and places, Hawaii and like that. Okay, imperialism from these other nations, Great Britain, for example, leads them into the war because they A, need to protect their colonies, and B, they, want more land. That's what we're all about in imperialism. Nationalism is the last one on there, and I have American flag here. That's how you can remember nationalism. It is actually more than patriotism. It would be more like this. Like patriotism would be that I love my country and I love the people in my country. Okay, that's patriotism. Nationalism is I hate anyone who is not of my country. That will lead us into war also, as the Russians develop this hate for Austria-Hungary because they are not Slavic. They're not Russian, and they're not from Serbia that we've just talked about, the cousins of Russia. They hate Austria-Hungary because of what they're doing to the Serbs. So this is I hate this other group because they're not like me. Okay? It spells M-A-I-N, Maine. So the long-term causes: militarism, alliances, imperialism, nationalism. All right, you need to go back and answer the essential questions. Was World War inevitable in 1914? I mean, I think so, because of all the alliances and the deals behind the table, like if someone attacks you, I will come to your rescue and I'll attack them. Because of that, because Germany had already taken part of France, because Austria-Hungary is not allowing Serbians to leave, and Russia gets mad about it, I think it was inevitable somebody was going to lose their temper. Name the 4 long-term causes. Maine, militarism, we're all building up our military. Alliances, we have these deals with these other countries that we will help them if they are invaded. Imperialism, we want to protect our colonies and build more colonies, build upon that, add more colonies to us. And this idea of nationalism, that I hate anyone who's not like me. All of that will lead us to the war, which will happen tomorrow. Okay? Thanks, guys.